don't we start with a heated debate? What was the worst year, 536 or 2020?
What happened in 536?
A volcano erupted.
Oh,
Vesuvius?
Like Vesuvius? Jinx.
Here, I'll read you the
I don't give
summary.
a fuck about the 536 people. I was in 2020, so 2020 by that logic.
You don't care about yourself either, though, Riley.
That's true.
Here, I'll read you the summary.
Look around.
It's literally just a volcanic winter for like a while.
In 2018, medieval scholar Michael McCormick nominated 536 as the worst year to be alive because of the extreme weather events probably caused by a volcano eruption early in the year, causing average temperatures in Europe and China to decline and resulting in crop failures and famine for well over a year. Other researchers have no additional errors during the year, including a mysterious fog, possibly due to the volcano eruption.
Okay, so I understand that sounds like it sucks, but I don't think it sucks anywhere near as much. I go to Walmart, I have to watch all these fucking chads with their Stacy's fucking rubbing it in my fucking face. Oh, look at me, I got a girlfriend. Oh, look at me, I can get laid. What about me? I'm gorgeous. Look at me. Why don't I have a girlfriend? Why can't I get laid? I am a kissless, touchless virgin at the age of 32, and I haven't seen a single one. The world's unfair.
For context, Riley, Cole looks very similar to Jonah Hill / Seth Rogen, so that's why he's.
You've seen pictures of me.
The greatest gaslight of all time. But Willy, do you really? So you just mentioned this year because this guy in 2018 nominated it, and you're comparing it to 2020 with the lockdown. But I think the lockdown was a bigger change of what we're used to, what we're accustomed to, and the disruption there. That and 530 whatever, like no one's really lived to tell the tale. They're just going based on natural fucking data, weather, and like famine and stuff like that, which is fair enough. But we don't know how that actually impacted the day-to-day.
I mean, I guess I still would have to go with 2020. I mean, keep in mind, this volcano eruption wasn't like the Pompeii destroyer of the city of volcano eruptions, so there's that at least.
Wait, Cole, was Vesuvius in Pompeii?
I don't know, I just know that it's, was it School of Rock, where the band got kicked out was Vesuvius?
Oh, nice. I know
the,
from Sufjan Stevenson.
Yeah, there's some... What's the Jack Black movie Vesuvius?
What was it? Pick a Destiny? Tenacious
No, I don't think it was Pick of Destiny.
Well, if you haven't voted already, I'll leave my Twitter straw poll for you to vote for it.
Last time I voted in the poll, Willy, it was unanimous 536 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why 536 is doing well though.
Because I think people just assumed that 2020 wasn't the worst year. So if you're putting some random years.
I'm trying so hard to Google this.
VESU, and then it should autocomplete.
Oh my god, you're so much smarter than me.
That was never debatable.
Vesuvius, Jack Black. The Rocker. Oh, I forgot how good of a movie The Rocker was. I'm gonna watch that later.
That's such a good Wilson, no? I didn't know Jack Black was in it.
Yeah, no, that's Dwight. That's Dwight Schrute. I fucked up with that.
Jeez, you really called fucking Rainn Wilson Jack Black? That's White?
What? Oh my god, it had a $15 million budget and it only made $8 million in the box office, dude. What a different time. That's so sad, though. That movie deserved more than that.
Did they call it a cult classic, or is it just legit a failure? A sleeper hit?
I bet it's gonna be like 3 stars on IMDb and piss me off.
2.5. What is it?
6.2. Not bad, actually.
Damn.
Rotten Tomatoes is 41%. That's a little low, but you know what? The IMDb is 6.2, so I'm happy with that. I liked it. I thought it was funny. I liked seeing Dwight Schrute naked.
Also, just to answer a question for me, going back to, things that we saw as a kid that we probably shouldn't have. I remember watching Lord of the Rings 2 Towers when I was 4 years old. That
Classic.
I probably was a little too young.
Sometimes your dislike for a character trait comes from your own flaws. Like,
true. That is
for instance, I hate it when my wife asks me for shit. But that's not because she asks for too much shit. She doesn't ask for shit ever. It's because I'm a lazy piece of shit and I don't want to do anything when she asks me. So it's like that kind of thing. That's an example of that. Or like when she asked me like a simple task, like, hey, can you call this to like make sure this reservation's in place or something like that. I'll be like, oh my god, this bitch again asking me to do something. I go to work, I slave away 8 hours a fucking day. I break my back, and now I'm sitting here drinking a beer. This bitch is asking me to make a call. I gotta make a fucking call. No,
well, that's some white.
How dare she?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's like a characteristic you have to fight, and like you have to deal with it. Like you know your own flaws. So you have to like understand. Like so in an ideal world right now, she would be fucking sucking me off, be like, oh yeah, no, I don't need you to make that. I'll make the call for you. Do you want me to bring over some lobster for you as well? While I give you a foot massage? Like that, obviously we all want that. But that's not the real world. Like you don't know.
Are you saying that you're inviting Willy into the bedroom with you?
No, fuck off. But like you don't know what Mia Malkova smells like. You don't know if like
I'm certain that she smells great.
I think the opposite.
I hope not.
What?
But no, I think it's the same thing for me. Like for me, like I'm just a fucking obviously arrogant douchebag. So like I need somebody to be on top of me, like make me fucking get better and call me on my shit.
You like that little femme? You like to be you're the bottom, huh?
She probably smells too good. It takes a lot of perfume to cover up that cum smell. Smells
for me,
a little too much.
But for me, as like in a relationship, I need someone to challenge me, someone to make me get better, because I will just slump into fucking mediocrity. But then if I have someone
sounds like simp shit, bro. You gotta find how to you gotta find how to get that strength from yourself, bro. You gotta lift for you. You can't be like I agree. Like, I lift for my girlfriend.
Okay, I don't think he ever said that, and I think you're projecting a bit.
He literally said on multiple occasions. He's literally said on multiple occasions he lifts. He started working out because of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, he lifts.
Starting it.
I get it.
Starting it is different than continuing because of his girlfriend. But anyways, we'll talk about iDubbbz in a little bit. But for me, with my girl right now, like she is very kind of passive and like very accepting of who I am, which is amazing. Especially, yeah, exactly. That's amazing. But early on, that was great. It was like, okay, yeah, I don't have to change. I can keep smoking, keep doing like fucking drugs and shit. But then eventually, you're kind of like, yo, like, shouldn't you want me to try to get better? It's like, but that's my own flaws speaking to, right? It's all about the match.
Yeah. That's just like you gotta work on you. Like you can't expect her to fix you. Like nobody can read your fucking mind. You can't be like, oh, I'm so depressed. I wish someone would know how sad I am. And like,
big one.
And like figure.
No, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong.
I went so long in my life trying to like find a girl who would like fix me or like save me or like be like I wish someone would understand me. I wish they would just like somebody could look in my eyes and just know. Like
somebody to save you, a Wonderwall perhaps.
I needed fucking but when you're like that, dude, you don't need a girlfriend. You need like a witch. You need like you're trying to get like a fucking. You're getting Merlin. You're trying to look for Merlin as a spouse. Like nobody can do that. Nobody can like read your mind.
It's literally the curse of the incel. And literally the classic Elliot Rodgers story of thinking females reject him without ever actually trying.
Why can't I find a beautiful, wealthy woman who will give me what I want and play WoW whenever I want?
I saw an Asian guy that got with a white girl. This is impossible.
Dude, you should look at that as an inspiration. You should be like, that's gonna be me. This is my glow up moment. You shouldn't be.
Yeah, there's precedent. There's precedent.
You should be like, yo, brother Hachi, how'd you do that?
Hachi. Go on.
So Kandor.
Yeah.
If I could possibly change the subject a bit,
absolutely.
Why don't we start with a heated debate? What was the worst year, 536 or 2020?
What happened in 536?
A volcano erupted.
Oh.
Vesuvius?
Well,
here, I'll read
I don't give a fuck about the 536 people. I was in 2020, so 2020 by that logic.
So you don't care about yourself either, though, Reely.
That's true.
Here, I'll read you the summary.
Look around.
It's just this volcanic winter for like a while.
In 2018, medieval scholar Michael McCormick nominated 536 as the worst year to be alive because of the extreme weather events probably caused by a volcano eruption early in the year, causing average temperatures in Europe and China to decline and resulting in crop failures and famine for well over a year. Other researchers have no additional during the year, including a mysterious fog, possibly due to the volcano eruption.
Okay, so I understand that sounds like it sucks, but I don't think it sucks anywhere near as much as when I go to Walmart, I have to watch all these fucking Chads with their Stacys fucking rubbing it in my fucking face. Oh, look at me, I got a girlfriend. Oh, look at me, I can get laid. What about me? I'm gorgeous. Look at me. Why don't I have a girlfriend? Why can't I get laid? I am a kissless, touchless virgin at the age of 32, and I haven't seen a single one. It's the world's unfair.
For context, Riely, Cole looked very similar to Jonah Hill / Seth Rogen, so that's why.
This? Why? You've seen pictures of me.
The greatest gaslight of all time. But Willy, do you really? So you just mentioned this year because this guy in 2018 nominated it, and you're comparing it to 2020 with the lockdown. But I think the lockdown was a bigger change of what we're used to, what we're accustomed to, and the disruption there. That and 5:30, whatever. Like no one's really lived to tell the tale. They're just going based on natural fucking data, weather, and like famine and stuff like that, which is fair enough. But we don't know how that actually impacted the day to day.
I mean, I guess I still would have to go with 2020. I mean, keep in mind this volcano eruption wasn't like the Pompeii destroyer of the city of volcano eruptions, so there's that at least.
Wait, Cole, was Vesuvius in Pompeii?
I don't know. I just know that it's was it School of Rock where the band got kicked out was Vesuvius.
Ah, nice. I know it from a Sufjan Stevens.
There's some. What was the Jack Black movie Vesuvius?
What was it? Pick a Destiny? Tenacious D?
I don't think it was Pick of Destiny.
Well, if you haven't voted already, I'll leave my Twitter straw poll for you to vote for it.
Last time I voted in the poll, Willy, was unanimous 536 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why 536 is doing well though.
Because I think people just assumed that 2020 wasn't the worst year. So if you're putting some random year.
I'm trying so hard to do this.
VESU, and then it should autocomplete.
Oh my god, you're so much smarter than me.
That was never debatable.
Vesuvius.
I saw
a Rocker. Oh, I forgot how good of a movie The Rocker was. I'm gonna watch that later.
That's with Rainn Wilson, no? I didn't know Jack Black was in it.
Yeah, no, that's Dwight. That's Dwight Schrute. I fucked up with that.
Jeez, you really called fucking Rainn Wilson Jack Black? That's and you're white?
What? Oh my god! It had a $15 million budget and it only made $8 million in the box office, dude. What a different time. That's so sad, though. That movie deserved more than that.
Did they call it a cult classic, or is it just legit a failure or sleeper hit?
I bet it's gonna be like 3 stars on IMDb and piss me off.
2.5. What is it?
6.2. Not bad actually.
Damn.
Rotten Tomatoes is 41%. That's a little low, but you know the IMDb is 6.2, so I'm happy with that. I liked it. I thought it was funny. I liked seeing Dwight Schrute naked.
Also, just to answer a question for me, going back to things that we saw as a kid that we probably shouldn't have. I remember watching Lord of the Rings: Two Towers when I was 4 years old. That was something. I probably was a little too young to be watching, but whatever.
Is that was just like ever?
What's so bad in Two Towers? Just like the orcs are just black people. Are you saying they're too scary?
No, has anyone else noticed that, the first Lord of the Rings came out the year 9/11 happened, and then the second film's called The Two Towers?
Yeah, that's the Two Towers.
I don't think it's based on any source material or anything like that would have been named before that. I'm pretty sure they named it intentionally to mock Americans. Those New Zealand Kiwis, they're up to some mischief.
It was an interesting decision to make a 9/11 film in the Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah, they were pandering too much, I think. Tolkien would have never wanted that.
Yeah.
Willy, what made you post that question?
Oh my god, Tolkien predicted 9/11!
What can't he do?
So do you guys have Patreon questions? what's the format for what's your plan for the continuation of this?
Yeah, let's answer some questions. I'm down for that.
Yeah, let's answer some questions.
If you have a question, leave it in the comment section below and answer the word question because it's easier to find.
Hit that comment, hit that like, make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for more based boys cast. Let's see what we got in the questions here. Okay,
we
I
got
got
questions.
Where are the fucking questions? You get questions? Where from?
Yeah, check the Patreon questions in the Monkey Discord. So there's one
Okay, got it.
There's one guy named Random Kandor. Looks fucking handsome. Fuck. But he asked for a Discord. He asked for a Discord member tier list. So who do you want to go first? Who would you put?
Reily is
in
an S tier.
You don't really contribute in the Monkey Discord though, no?
I suppose that's true. I would have been S in Big Scored though. I was a mod back then.
I do believe that.
What do you think about this advice quoted from Buddha? Biggest tip I ever gave was that y'all should get outside your comfort zones and faux arrogance to realize.
Oh, you're reading through the
shit.
Where did that come from?
Growing up, and learning from the experiences and knowledge of others around you.
Jeez. So, Willy, do you know the origins of that copypasta?
This was asked by a
no, I do not.
Kandor.
So this was some copypasta. I think it was from the Monkey Discord or maybe my Discord, but I gave a genuine advice for Incel, similar to what Cole was saying about, you don't be satisfied with your own just machinations and ideas of what you deserve or what that you're better than everybody else. Go out in the real world and learn from other people and stuff like that. And then fucking the biggest incel in the world, Reedox, just copy and pasted it. And then just
pretty good.
Repeated it, and then I think I did another advice thing, and then now they've compiled the two. So the numbered list one was second, and then they just ran away with it.
Do you remember
quietly?
Do you remember the
classic incel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Reedox is a classic incel, but do you remember the Kino corner? I'm not gonna come on your podcast. Copy.
Yeah, that was for Willy. That was for Willy. That
right?
Willy literally started it.
Okay, next one, gentlemen. This is a
I didn't know that. I didn't know we had a celebrity in the room.
Look
maybe next time you should look around, brother.
Yeah. So the next one is from username. It's Ideal Woman ? It's a classic.
Nice. Okay, Willy, take us away with that one. Start us off. You want a lobster? Or?
More crab girl?
Shit, where's the question?
It's in the page.
He just said it!
It's just ideal woman. It's just asking what your ideal woman is.
Oh,
or man. Or anything.
I don't know. I don't, as someone on the spectrum, I don't really care for women that much, but I don't know. I guess average.
Is that canon? Is that canon? All autists are asexual?
I mean, Mr. Enter is, and he's the biggest autist I know.
True. So you do know him. Well, okay. So Willy, let's think about if you close your eyes right now, just do it. Don't even think about it. Close your eyes and imagine your perfect waifu, like the ideal woman. What does she look like? What race is she? How tall is she? Got big tits, big butt.
She's Cherry Bomb. She's Cherry Bomb from Hasman Hotel.
Whoa.
I guess I'll do some research. Is this an anime
She's
person?
fictional and animated.
Oh,
those are the qualities.
Wait, Reily, you recognize this person?
I know that Hasman Hotel is an animated show.
Oh, it's from Hasman Hotel. Fucking.
Oh, okay, good. New question. Waifu. There we go.
Okay, well,
waifu.
I already answered.
Because I can't, as a married man, my answer, if it's not my wife, then I'm getting fucking castrated. So.
And you're calling me simp?
There's a balance between, like, doing things for women and not being a shit husband.
See, the waifus, that's a tough nut to crack. That's a hard question. Probably...
The Turning Red Girl.
Leafa from Sword Art Online. That's my answer.
Wait, hold on. Let's rewind a little bit. I'm sorry. That's a good one. You're Cyclops, really?
Yeah, I think it makes her unique in that way.
Can you imagine you're getting up close? You're getting good to your girl. You're getting ready to go. You see those dagger-like triangle teeth, and you're staring into that one juicy, moist sleep-crusted eye, like right in front of you. Can you imagine that? Like, you sure that's what you want?
Cole, let me ask you one question.
Yeah, no, here's the thing, and I'll say, like, licking eyeballs, that's a fetish, so I don't have to choose. It's just the one I can lick.
No favorites. Cole, have you never fantasized about Leela from Futurama?
I was more of a,
Amy Wong?
Yes, I was more of an Amy Wong
Oh,
guy.
certainly.
Yeah.
Leela's one of those that, like, I would bang if given the opportunity, but it's like there's a million better animated girls out there.
Like Amy Wong.
Yeah, yes, like Amy Wong.
I agree with that. The only waifu I could ever say I had, I didn't watch that much anime. That wasn't cool, but I also wasn't like that. Was Hinata, but that was a pretty lame one.
Jeez, so you have the fucking coy, shy waifu girl?
Yeah.
Those girls are always interested in me, but I was more down for the femdom.
That's a very brown person thing. That's
no way.
No, I'm not like, okay, that is racist to say, but like,
you've met like
so many of my boys who aren't white, the white guys I know want that shy, kawaii little quiet waifu. The black dudes I know, they want a bold they want a woman, they want a hot bitch, they want a party, they want a fun girl.
They want someone to hang, someone who can hang.
Yeah. Whereas me, I want an object as a Caucasian man. I want the possession.
You're not a Caucasian man. You're a Caucasian libertarian. It's a whole different breed.
Oh, are you against Cyclops? You think Mike Wazowski's weird?
Yes.
Yeah, Cole.
Wow.
I will not. Without blinking a single eye. Yeah, I'll say that.
Nice one.
I can't believe it. That's discriminatory. They don't even know if they're winky or blinking at me.
That's true. So it's automatically flirting.
What about Leela? For fuck's sakes.
That's what I already said.
Leela.
I wouldn't. I can't get into Cyclops. I just big gross eye. I can imagine. It's to me imagine looking into a big dog eye right in front of you. That's what I'm imagining. Nah.
Yeah, Cole. Well, to be fair, Cole does have the yellow fever, so even just if he had two eyes that were normal size, that would be too much.
No, yeah, exactly. No, the more closed and slanted they are, the better. Yeah, exactly.
Good, Cole. Who would be your anime? Well, I guess is it necessarily animated, or I guess waifu is, right?
That's Hinata already. That's the closest one I know.
Oh, true. I guess mine would probably be Tsunade then.
What?
Tsunade?
Tsunade?
Yeah.
Really? You in the mills, bro?
Yeah, bro.
You're so Indian.
What? You just saying everything that you was go, and then you cited black.
No, I'm not even no, seriously, outside it. I'm not saying it's because you're fucking whatever the hell you are. I'm saying it's because my perspective in India is oh yes, I want the mommy milker. I want the big titties. Please, Brandy loves you. You come to me. Yes, you're beautiful woman. I love you.
Yeah, but big tits isn't.
I want to see the big. I want the mommy areolas. I want to see her.
Doesn't Hinata have big tits?
She gets big bazongos late season. Earlier on, she's much more reasonably dimensioned and cute. I like lolly Hinata. I don't like adult Hinata. Because also I was okay. I'm not fucking. Okay, don't say I'm fucking weird. I'm not fucking. I was in the age group when I watched. Is what I'm saying. I was in that age group. She was of my age, and then when she got
wouldn't necessarily be a lolly, then, right?
Yeah, but how else are you gonna say it? It's fucking. It's just easier to say it that way.
Hey, Cole was added to this podcast by a third party. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. your name is Cole, right? Is it Copper? Go on.
Yeah, no, but fucking Hinata when she was first few seasons of Naruto, that's the peak Hinata.
I was literally Naruto in school, and there's actually a shy Asian girl that had a crush on me. That's literally the same thing.
And you
literally Naruto.
I bet you're oh, she's clapped. I don't have any interest in her.
I never said she was cute, but she was cool. I can't hit on that. Riley, what about you? What would your waifu be?
I said Lipa from Sword Art Online.
You pick only from Naruto.
Only from Naruto. Okay.
Yeah. I don't watch any other anime.
Okay. Naruto waifu, probably. I guess Tsunade, like she's got the mommy milker. She's hot.
Are you?
Wait, wasn't Leafa like his cousin or something?
Leafa was his cousin who wanted to fuck him. Yes, that's.
Jesus.
Leafa was his cousin who was raised as his sister who wanted to fuck him.
Who was the girl that died? Who was that girl that died in Sword Art Online? That one was a bit of a heartthrob.
Alice?
Let me look it up.
Probably. How many others would there be? I haven't seen this show, but people keep saying it's actually really good.
Oh, are you talking about the
Sword
girl?
Art.
There's a couple girls who die in Sword Art. Are you talking about fuck,
The one
what's her
that
name?
the one that had a love interest with Kirito. Kitty.
Fuck, I know who you're talking about. What was his fucking name? Sachi!
Let me see if that's the right one.
You wouldn't recognize her name, Cole? You sure she's a white
no, Sachi was bae. Just a trad, loyal woman.
Jesus.
Did you know snakes have 2 penises?
Neko,
How did
I didn't know you did.
Yeah. How did you?
Sorry, because I learned that because Cherry Bomb, my wife, they're shipping her with the snake guy, and the porn of she has 2 penises. I'm like, why the fuck does this thing have 2 dicks? I'm like, oh, actually, snakes have 2 penises.
It's actually anatomically correct.
Did you know dragons have 2 cocks?
Based.
I guess that's where it comes from, though. If snakes have 2 penises.
Yeah, evolutionarily they're tied together, I think.
Okay, we need a real question from here. Wow, these questions are really shit. No wonder he never answers us.
Okay, well, they became shit because he wasn't answering. There's not even any questions for the past million things.
It's a meme now because he doesn't do the show anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. Willy, what's your question?
Why the fuck did he stop doing top 10 kinos of every year?
I know!
When did he stop?
I think 2018, I think.
He just keeps blowing it off. He said he was gonna do it in 2021 with Kino, and then he just didn't.
Well, if it was with Kino, then no big loss.
Fair enough, but...
Because as someone who cares about Kino, I only want to own Kino movies, but I can't tell which one's the Kino if there's not a list.
Maybe now that E-Rich is back, he'll whip him back into shape, and we'll get a top 10 Kinos of 2022.
Hopefully.
I've got an idea. Instead of Patreon questions, I got an idea, because this seems like the vibe, alright? Have you guys ever been on r/relationship advice?
No.
No.
Riley, don't scornfully laugh at him. Cole has obviously been there many a time.
This is one of my favorite subreddits, okay? Because it's always people being like, my girlfriend is never home and is very friendly with other guys. And she doesn't want to talk to me, doesn't pick up the phone when she's gone. And it's fucking just hilarious, like, watch these sad stories, or these sob stories.
Oh, no!
Okay, are people jerks, or are they like, hey, bro,
like, everybody
reality check?
Writes a novel, but what I like to do is I don't like to read their text. I'll read the sometimes I rarely will, but I'll read like the title of what they post, and I'll just respond based off that without any comment. I think that might be a good idea for like a Patreon question. Maybe you guys are down for that.
One time she butt dialed me, and I just heard this weird sloshing noise.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sort by new. This first one here is my ex-girlfriend, 16 female, broke up with me, male 17, and I feel it's my fault despite everyone I ask telling me it's not. And even when I think about it, it's not. What would you say to this young man?
I'd say, you're probably gay, bro.
Oh, come on.
Get fucked, idiot.
Yeah. Say, hey, young man, everyone goes through this. It's a normal part of growing up. But let me ask you a question. What did you expect to get out of Reddit posting this?
I would say to him, yeah, no, for one, every time you see someone post these on the Reddit, yeah, they're already a loser. They're already on the wrong path. You're asking there's like 13-year-olds on this site. You're asking life advice here. Yeah. I would say this person, it probably is your fault. You probably aren't good enough. You're not what she's looking for. And you probably could have done better, and she might have stayed with you. Or you're just ugly. It's one of those two things. And anybody that's telling you it's not your fault and there's nothing you can do about it and it's just life is a fucking liar, and you should take a look at yourself and see what's not good enough about me and improve that, so that when you get the next bitch, you'll be way better. And so when this girl looks at you 10 years from now or checks you out on Facebook, she'll be like, fuck, I should have stayed with him.
Nice. Good bloomer advice. I thought you were just gonna say just use VR chat, bro.
No, do everything you can to make her want to slit her wrists, and when she kills herself when she's 35 and alone,
Whoa, okay.
you win.
Oh my
Jeez.
god.
Wait, Cole,
Jesus
aren't you 35?
No, I'm 24.
Getting close.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm over the hill.
You're getting up there. Anything past 16 is just decline. Good thing Willy's still in the prime of his life. Right, Willy?
Yeah.
Willy, what advice would you give this young man?
Well, you know, as someone who was determined to just be alone forever in his life due to his states of spectrum, I would just say, you know, just move on. It's best to move on. Move on.
Based. Riely?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
It was my ex-girlfriend broke up with me, and I think it's my fault. Despite everyone saying it's not, and you want to think about it, it's not my fault.
Okay. What I would say to this guy is, yeah, it probably was your fault. Get fucked. That's basically what I would say. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna revise my advice. What I'd say is, like, number one, you know, shit happens. He's not the one, bro. You're fucking 16. I know it's never gonna make a difference that anyone says this, but it's the truth, and eventually you'll realize it. Number two, you've been talking to everybody about this, and then they've all told you the exact same thing. So there might be an issue with you in terms of processing feedback, and, like, you asked for this question, you got an answer, you don't like it, so now you're going to Reddit. What the fuck is wrong with you? Maybe therapy would be useful. Number three, I already fucked her, bro. Get over it.
So now that everybody's kind of taken agreed with me, I'm going to change my answer to she's a dirty whore and a skank, and you deserve better, brother. You are perfect, and you deserve the world, my friend.
Well, honestly, how well does high school love turn out anyways?
I mean, it feels good.
That's true.
It doesn't last. It's like high school love is like the tutorial.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's where you learn the mechanics a little bit, and then, like, college is when you, like, start to master the mechanics, and then once you're out of college, it's like, you know, you're out and you're farming, trying to.
You're a fully formed guy. Yeah, no, I agree. But although I don't think that high school is necessarily tutorial for everybody, your first relationship is tutorial.
It should be, but the world's changed and it's not anymore.
But at the same time, a lot of people, like, are successful later. I know a lot of friends that were kind of fuck boys in college and stuff that were virgins in high school. So it's not the necessary tutorial, but it is. I think your first relationship in general, which sometimes happens in high school, will be a tutorial.
All right. Here's a simple one. My 19 male girlfriend, 18 female, might be pregnant. Any advice for this fella?
Run!
Abortion! Abortion!
Yeah.
How about you?
I'd say, what advice are you seeking? Are you seeking whether to terminate it, whether, like, what I should do, like how to operate Plan B?
I think you have to terminate the woman.
Yeah, exactly. No trace.
For one, I read the first sentence here. It says it's been 41 days since her period, and she took a pregnancy test and it was negative. She's probably just stressed, bro. Have her eat something. But
yeah, this is first
probably not actually pregnant. But, like, also, say on the blind thing that his girlfriend could be pregnant. He's like 18. I disagree with all your advice. I think that, like, you got to figure out whether or not you think that your own cowardice or greed is worth murdering a human. And if you're cool with that, if you don't think it's murder, then go for it. You know, you do you. Make sure.
I think it's a foregone conclusion.
If you want to be like you know, noble and, you know, value human life and stand up, be responsible, and, like, you know, you did this, so hold your own. Then I'd say, you know, it's not bad to have a kid at 18. I mean, yeah, sure, it might suck. You're not going to be able to get the fucking arcade cabinet you wanted to. You'll probably be poorer than you were going to be. But, like, who fucking cares? Like, your life's probably going to be shit anyway, so just enjoy having a kid.
Fair enough.
No, that's the wrong advice completely. Having a kid at 18 is horrible. I don't know how that doesn't alter your life trajectory. Sometimes, yeah.
It'll absolutely alter your life trajectory, but it's not necessarily in a bad way. You could just end up like a lonely loser with no kid ever. I would rather have a kid at like 15 than go my entire life without having one.
I don't see. I don't agree with the like anti-abortion sentiment necessarily, but I do think it's something you should think about. Like, you should reassess.
That's what he's saying, though.
Like, you definitely don't want to just like kill it immediately. Like,
Yeah,
definitely think about what position
you
you're
shouldn't.
in.
You shouldn't go into it being like, well, this is what people do. You shouldn't go into it being like,
Yeah.
I'm 18, this is scary, I don't know if I'm ready yet, so I will have an abortion. You should think, do I want to? Do I think this is the right thing for me to do?
Cole's a incel type guy, you know. He just speaks with a lot of conviction and things. But I think he was saying that in the original comment that he was like, seriously consider this decision. Don't just go along with the flow of like, 18, pregnancy, automatically abortion, critically think.
Yeah,
I think you guys are on the same page.
I'm pro-choice. I'm just anti like encouraging abortion. I think in general it's like morally bad. But
Okay, the way you called it murder didn't make you sound very pro-choice.
Because I think it is. I think it is. Okay, I'm so fucking libertarian. I think murder should be legal if you can defend it.
Base.
Whoa.
Like
Base.
Like if you can be like, yeah, this guy raped 13 little girls. I murdered him on the street. Then cool.
Yeah, that should be applauded, I think.
Let's see. Ooh, this is an interesting.
Like that Family Guy episode, Abortion, that was banned.
This is some advice for the ladies out
Prom
there.
night dumpster baby.
My boyfriend says I am not romantic / passionate enough, and it's affecting our relationship.
That's
What
literally
advice do we have for these ladies out here that aren't?
Light some
Killer.
candles, get some roses, make her watch a Serbian film.
nice. Yeah, shit.
120 days of Sodom.
Shit in his mouth while he's sleeping with his mouth open and say, "Is this romantic enough for you?" But I think first off, your relationship's doomed if you don't know what he's talking. Well, okay, in this context, a lot of the information will be in the bulk of the paragraph that they wrote. But if we're going straight off the titles, then maybe your definitions of romantic are different if you consider yourself a romantic person and you're not meeting
The
their
reason
needs.
I'm not reading the paragraph is because it's like literally it's like a page, and they never have like proper spacing. So
You don't have TLDRs?
no, they don't. It sucks. That's why it's fun to just like read the first sentence and respond based off that, and it's always like they're like, "What are you talking about?" It's always fucking hilarious.
How they respond?
Yeah. Like there was one time, somebody was like, "Oh, I want to leave my husband and my kids, in their thing," and I was like, "You're a dirty whore and a skank," and then they're like, they responded to something reasonable, like something like that wasn't like knee jerk. I was like, "What the fuck?" And so I looked at what they read, and apparently he'd been like cheating on her, and like rubbing in her face and shit, being terrible to her. And I was like, "Oh, sorry."
there was someone at work when I was with my supervisor. We were going around, and this person was like, "Yeah, they just asked, like the supervisor asked them passively, like, 'Oh, how's everything going at home and stuff?' And this girl went off. She was just like, 'Okay, finally we're getting divorced and stuff like that. I guess he decided like cocaine and his affairs are more important than the marriage, haha.'" And just looked me right in the eye. And I was just like, "What the?" And this was like a early 30s lady, and at the workplace, I guess took off the wedding ring. That's why my boss saw, and I was like, "Bro, this is way too much information. What the fuck?"
I mean, she's been bottling that shit up for who knows how long, getting fucking cucked, and trying to save this man, and she failed. And I think she's just trying to let herself free.
I'm tired of these white women just crawling after the big brown cock, though. I'm not just a service to deliver to you once you get.
So relatable.
I'm tired of these white women. Random Kandor 2022. That's the quote.
I just can't get rid of all these women. There's just too many of them.
I can't get rid of all the women. That's a concern. That's a problem.
I'm literally Kingo.
Real advice though on this: if you're somebody who's not romantically inclined and you're with someone with a higher libido, just go look up porn and just replicate it. Go look up a JOI and just do what she does. That's all. You just if you really want to be there for them and actually please them, just do what the professionals do. Get professional help.
I do agree. A lot of that stuff, and some of that.
Watch a JOI as a tutorial video.
Porn for the review. But at the same time, Cole, do you really think that she's talking about sexual, or she said romantic?
I think passionate. I'm implying that. Let me read for a second. You guys talk.
My read from the title is like she's not like warm enough for like how was your day, babe? And like, oh, I did this for us, and oh, you worked so hard. Like very soft and like loving. In that maybe she's just a cold person.
You know what you should do? Make her buy a shit ton of Lego because I can't find my fucking Lego pieces right now.
Fuck yeah!
Okay, so it is more emotional. It is more emotional. But my answer still stays the same because if you want to make him feel special, fucking, just out of nowhere, just like put your hair in a ponytail and get to work. That's how
it could be that she knee-jerks to sexual favors and that's what he doesn't like.
I mean, maybe it's just me, but like, my advice to a woman is if you want to make a man feel loved, fucking just surprise him like that. That's easy peasy. Unless he's
a band-aid solution.
Get him a pop figure. That's how you do it.
The thing is, though, like that goes a long way for men. Not all of them. Like some guys are really emotional and like they want to be like coddled and mommied, but those aren't men. So like,
are you being racist against brown people?
Why would you worry about that? What?
Are you being racist against brown people and their mommy fetishes again?
No. I respect the mommy fetish. What I don't like is when men are like emotionally reliant on their women. Like when men can't stand on their own 2 feet emotionally, and like they're like, "Oh, my girlfriend's never there for me. She doesn't make me feel better." It's like you're the man. Like if you're gonna be trad, then be fucking trad and like grow a pair.
But what
if he doesn't want to be pants? Be a man.
Base reference.
I mean, I'm not saying like don't know your feelings. I'm not saying like bottle that shit. Like if you listen to a fucking old Sinatra song, man's talking about depression and about thoughts of not being good enough and like trying his best and still not getting there. Like that's like the shit people think is like emotionless and feeling. It's like, but that's really in touch with your fucking feel. If you know yourself and know what you're about and know your struggles, and you're not like, I'm sad. Why am I sad? Why does our girlfriend make me feel happy? Then that's your fault. That's on you. That's not her.
But you're putting a lot into this conversation that wasn't said, though, right? You're saying
that's
that
the
like
point.
okay,
that's the whole point of not if we wanted to be boring and like read their specific situation and be like,
but being a guy asking the girlfriend to be more like, I guess, emotionally available, to use the buzzword, or like to be more like empathetic or something like that, that doesn't equate to being like using them as a crutch and being like, hot and cold, saying, yeah, I need you to be there, I won't expand on anything, but you just have to probe, you have to guess what's on my mind, all that stuff. No, that's just something that's the worst case scenario for that, should she be completely in the right.
I'm of the mentality that if that is the issue with your relationship, it's not a good you're not a good match, because I think that's something so important and so like
ingrained.
If the person you're with makes you feel like shit emotionally, not much matters as much as that. Like they have to naturally be someone that like lights up your life in a way. Like if you're trying to chase a fucking good feeling, get fucking Prozac or some shit.
I think that it's on the base level in terms of like emotional variability or sensitivity and stuff like that. Those are one of the things that are quite hard to change during a relationship, and it shouldn't be something that you're kind of banking on. Okay, we'll work through and concede throughout time, because people are kind of inborn with being sensitive people or just more logical, kind of colder people. So it's probably better to match on that first and then try to change other things rather than that one. I agree with you, Cole.
I might be brutal, but I also think it's kind of pathetic when I hear like a couple. It's like, we've been together like 2 years, but like, he just isn't happy. He's not. Like, it's like, why are you together? Why'd you ever get together if this person didn't already make you feel emotionally good to be around? If like this has always been a struggle and you don't know how to be there for them, like why you just got together for like sex or some shit? Like, why did you ever get together?
Maybe they had a kid at the age of 18. Cool.
I mean, that's different. That's though I respect the fuck out. I don't give a shit how bad your relationship is. If you had a kid at like 17 and you stuck through, and you're like a piece of shit loser that drinks beer and is fat and yells at his wife and she yells at you and cheat on each other, if you stuck through that with kids, fucking props to you. As long as you're not beating anybody, good for you. But at the same time, that can't be shit either. Yeah, sometimes a fucking divorce life is better than that, but that's case by case.
Or no kid at all.
What do you guys think of, like, there's a lot of posts that are like, I don't know whether I should break up with my boyfriend or not. What do you think of people asking shit like that online?
I think that's automatically yes. I think they've made it the mind up in their mind, and then they're outsourcing it to Reddit to be like, okay, this validates what I already knew I was going to do. So, you know, I asked the public, and everyone else agrees with me, so I'm in the right. It's just ammo for you to not have any nuts to make the decision.
I absolutely agree with that. It's like you're outsourcing your. It's like you don't want to be the asshole. You don't want to be the bad guy. So you're so pussy that you're like, should I do this mean thing? And if it's defendable, people can make points for it, because that makes you feel good. But on the flip side, I do think I think that the way the internet is, you should never ask someone. I think you're right. But I think that's because the advice is always bad. The advice is always like, you should break up with him. Like what you just said. You know, if you're thinking it, you should do it. Because that gives them that out. But I think that good advice would actually more be about, like, why do you think you need to break up with him? And why do you feel the need to ask that?
Yeah.
There's obviously a question there. It's not like, fuck this bitch, I want out. You know? There's something weird about that. And in that case, I think that's more of a you thing than a her thing or a him thing.
I agree with you. And I think that the way that they asked, if, like, say that was the question, then if it was something that's like more modifiable or something that, like, okay, we could check their logic or the thought process earlier on, then they would be saying more along the lines of, like, you know, I keep doing this and my boyfriend didn't change, or like, you keep ignoring me like this. Like, how can I have advice on how to make a relationship better, rather than, you know, should I cut it off or not? Like, when you're getting to that point of, like, really asking, should I break up, and, like, that's the final step, then I don't know how much you can change your thought process or change the contributing factors.
Might just be over at that point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
So
Willy?
We'll go for it.
Look around.
Okay, I got two more.
Okay. Sorry, two more.
Okay, first one is, my boyfriend showed our sex tape to our friends.
Jesus!
Christ!
In front of her? Okay, I know,
Yo.
just titles.
For one, he's
Ethan
one of the
Ralph,
fucking
is that
boys
you?
based.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this dude got no respect for this bitch at all. I've had a friend do that to me. I had a friend send me the link to him and his girlfriend's Pornhub. Before.
Was this back in, like, their, like, were they actually trying to make it, or were they
were
like
still in a relationship, and he sent me the link to their Pornhub, yeah.
And he was like, oh, bro, look at this, yo, it's so sick.
I think we were drunk or something, and, like, he, like, mentioned it, and I was like, yo. He's like, do you want to see it? And I was like,
if he offered, or did you ask?
Yeah, he offered. Yeah, I didn't ask for it.
Okay.
I definitely wouldn't have initiated.
But you were masturbating in front of him while he was telling you the story.
No.
Did you want to figure it for yourself?
I probably showed curiosity, and we were both drunk enough that, like, he was like, oh, this is a good idea, and I was like, yeah, sure.
Jesus. And how did that affect your relationship with your friend?
I mean, they're not together anymore, but it was, like, not connected to that at all, and, like, I didn't give a shit, you know. I've seen his dick before. Wait, you haven't seen the boys' dicks?
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's definitely pretty fucked up. First off, like, for her, maybe it was her idea, to be fair, but, like, to be sharing that kind of shit. Well, first off, did you know that they made it with a hidden camera or some bullshit?
She knew.
Okay, so that lessens the blow a little bit, but
she never apologized. He's not remorseful, and probably just came clean about this because of all the drama happening with her friends.
oh, so
This is like a novel. This is like a cringe friend circle.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge violation. For me, personally, people are fucked up, or people are different. So, yeah, I can't speak for how they should navigate that, but...
Gentlemen, any thoughts? Okay.
No.
Next one that I think will be a lot more interesting. I want to fucking end off on this because this is a gay topic.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, where'd it go? Okay, so this question is, my mother refuses to believe I have ADHD, but I want to edit this one a bit and say, what do you guys' thoughts on, like, if you have a mental disorder and your parent doesn't believe you, how should you, like, go through that?
Well, actually, I not to get serious, but I'm actually kind of going through that because, you know, like, my mom doesn't really believe that my dad believes that I'm autistic, actually, and he's, like, refusing to pay child support because of it and shit.
Damn.
Because
any advice for a fellow going through these struggles?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just in court battle right now because of it. Like, I'm kind of forced stuck in the middle of it, but
Willy,
it's nothing too serious.
For you, it's more that like because you're on the spectrum, you require special services or something, which elevates the level of child support he would have to pay. So that's why he's denying it.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Like, he doesn't believe, like, because I'm an adult now, he doesn't believe I need it though. It's mainly that, other than just me being autistic. It's
like,
part of it.
Legally an adult, or are you like ideally an adult? Like, are you like 18 up?
No, I'm legally, yeah.
So why is child support still an issue when you're 18?
I think because of this.
Probably, yeah.
Doesn't it cut off at 18? Child support?
No.
What? How long does it go for?
It should. I think it does cut off in 18, but I think if you have special needs, then maybe there's some kind of like it's almost like an alimony of like ongoing care needs.
Complicated. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, imagine thinking about all these things whenever you're 18 and having a kid. Cool.
Yeah.
But I think. Well, what do you guys think? I've been dominating these reactions. Riely.
I'm sorry. What?
What do you think about parents not believing kids have mental disorders?
I don't know if he has. I don't know if you even know. He even knows himself. This one might be a little bit fucking too close to home.
Hey, wait a minute. Whoa, hold on.
Got him.
Hey, yeah, I don't know. It kind of sucks. Like, I don't believe you. Like, fuck you. Okay.
Get a fucking doctor's test or whatever. I don't know why it's just so hard though.
Yeah, that's the thing I wanted to talk about. Because one, like, why do you think you have a mental illness? Is it diagnosed by a doctor, or do you see some TikTok shit and like say, "Oh, that's literally me," and probably don't have one? Or is it something that's legitimately certified and you're doing well on medication, you're responding to some treatment, and your parents are just like, "No, you just need to pull your pants up, bro. Don't commit suicide. Just dedicate yourself to a craft."
I'm in the ignore it party. I'm genuinely in the. I am detached. I mean, my sister has a lot of mental illnesses, and I probably have something if I actually cared about it. But I think that the old autistic dudes, the old Down syndrome dudes I've met and I've worked with, are like, they just had to get through life. They had no choice. They had no like Medicaid or anything to help them through it, or they just had to work. They had to deal with it. I think that they're better off than the people I know who like are carried by the government for their mental illnesses.
Cole, I do have to say, as a mental health somewhat expert, there is a spectrum. You've met a Down syndrome person?
I've met people that are like, I've gone down the whole. I've gone from people that are like to like, you know, like they can hold a job. Like there's definitely a spectrum, but I'm saying like in general, I think a lot of kids, like they get like diagnosed with like Down syndrome or
Down syndrome is very different than everything else.
Or like Asperger's or something like that very early on. And like at least for like friends I have that have it, they've gone through like they're very caught from that moment on. They're treated different. Their life's different. People like they're like given different rules and different like ways to live that actually hinder their ability to live a normal and fulfilling life. Whereas if they were given like they were just left out in the street like Romulus and Remus for the wolves to raise them, I think that there's a chance that more people with mental illnesses could just live a normal life and be happy and not be weird. But
I have to go strongly against that. I think there's certain things like maybe mild depression, mild anxiety, just if you kind of just expose yourself just by virtue of trying to live a normal life, you will learn techniques to kind of get around things, and a lot of people will end up committing suicide and dying. And like in that kind of view, you could view it as like a selection pressure of like, okay, the people that do end up doing well on that, that's what they needed, because otherwise they would have been on like social assistance or something. But for something like bipolar, schizophrenia, these like very, very demanding, very debilitating things that if they go untreated will like result in death or result in a huge like quality of life altering thing, then you should be trying to pursue things. But I do agree that sometimes there is an element of, especially the TikTok type of things, where people seek out explanations for their feelings, and then they stop at that. It's not like, okay, how can I build on this, and how can I address my needs based on this diagnosis and these traits that I have? It's more just like, okay, this explains it. Now let me settle down and
I think the
do
TikTok
nothing.
thing's a lot easier to invalidate because like everybody when they're like 16 is like, why am I weird? Why am I wrong? Why am I like not who I want to be? And it's easy to like find a mental illness and like latch onto that and be like, oh, that's why I'm a freak. Instead of just being like,
and then
oh,
not change.
Yeah,
and then
not be like, I'm just 14 and weird, and I just gotta like adapt and change. But I'm thinking more of people like who are in like the middle ground. Like a prime example, I think that if Chris Chan wasn't treated like he had Asperger's or autism or whatever the hell he has, I think he could have been a fine member of society. I think that if he wasn't kept home, I think that if schools just punished him like a normal kid instead of being like, oh, here's a special class or you get to go home, I think that he would have had a better chance.
I don't think so. I think his reward for like his stuff in terms of eCloud and like all the drama and stuff kind of like misguided him to like be more grandiose and stuff.
I don't think he would have gotten into that world if like his parents didn't indulge his autism and like just let him be as autistic as he wanted. I think if they're like, okay, bro, you got to be a little bit less weird than this, I think that will let him away from the internet path, away from the celebrityness, and I think he would have lived a better life.
That's true, but I don't think that would have necessarily, like, he is a freak kind of case in the sense that he had this specific thing that ended up getting a lot of like traction online. Yeah, nice. But I think that he also, like, best case scenario, he'd be kind of like a greeter at Walmart or something, and like people would employ him knowing his capacity, and yeah, he would be functioning, he'd be earning an income to some way, which is really empowering and good for his mental health and functioning in general. But at the same time, it wouldn't be like I didn't even know he had autism. Like he doesn't have it bad in terms of the spectrum, but he has it pretty noticeable.
But when I run into those guys, they're like Walmart greeters, or like I like have to talk to them, like, or they're working. Like, yeah, sure, I get annoyed that it took 30 more seconds for me to get checked out. But like, I also have like a huge respect for them because I know that like life sucks and it's hard, and like I see these people that like clearly have an issue, and they could, in this modern era, you could so easily get a diagnosis and get like government money for that and just pull a toot. But like they're not. They're like actually just sticking it through, which is really noble to me. Yeah.
And it's good for them too, right? Like no one wants to feel like a leech and like not contributing anything. It's always good to have work and have meaning.
A lot of people don't care. I have friends that
I think secretly they resent kind of their ability to not.
Are you like a professional in this field, or like you seem
somewhat?
Or, like, okay.
Like it's always part of the like traction to get people functioning well and living fulfilling lives. It's always going to be like community therapy, group therapies, and stuff like that to empathize with other people that live like them. So that's not just kind of like people talking down to them, being like, "Oh, you can do this, or you can do that," and I'm a professional, so just listen to what I say.
I feel like things like group therapy or like having to go to those events or be around other people that are autistic or like having the same problems, I think that can be just as damaging as not dealing. I mean, I think it's better than ignoring it and like abusing them. But I think that, you become like the people you're around, and if all your friends are autistic, you're just going to be more autistic.
I don't think so. Because the whole goal of the group therapy is like actually getting you out, taking the bus, going, even if you have to do it with your mom or your parents, especially.
That's all weird. Just none of that's normal. That all puts the marker on you of I'm retarded. Like that's not normal. That's not like you're gonna have a hard. Like if you put a kid in high school, it sucks. They have to adapt. They have to struggle through middle school. Like all that weird shit. It's hell. And if you take somebody and think that you say they have more of a disadvantage, so let's remove them from this and like give them more of a route that's more comfortable for them. You've already nerfed them so hard. Like yeah, sure, like they'll have a higher learning curve, but I think that you've taken away any chance they had at all of being normal at that point.
I think most people in like both on the like professional side and like the family side, they always want people to get up to what they can tolerate. So like they'll challenge, and sometimes people will fail, and okay, let's reevaluate what you can tolerate or not. But I don't think it's never the default if people are professionally involved to have people just coast through life and just basically kind of like, okay, let's give you a government salary and then not address anything and then just hands off, enjoy your free money.
It's much easier that way. So.
But I think that happens for a lot of people who become like disconnected from the system and from professionals, or have like shitty professional care too, right? Because people. That too, and that's why a lot of people are so on Barb and them about Christian, because it's not necessarily strictly the mental illness and his fault.
I don't blame Barb. I think they're pretty relatively normal parents. They're just really fucking old, and I think the generation gap was too far. I think they had Chris in their 40s, like they're too.
I think
old,
so.
So they were not adapted whatsoever for how much the world has changed in this time. So they probably, if Christian was born 20 years earlier, I bet Christian would have been a lot better. Okay, well that's no. If Barb and whatever the old guy's name was, if they were born 20 years later, I think they would have been much better suited for raising kids like that.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But what about your friend's experience? You've had people, like, what diagnoses did they have?
Like Asperger's and autism and mild Down syndrome and shit like that, and it fucked them up. Like they went from being normal in school and just having fun with other kids to like, oh, you're in the retard class now, you're a weirdo now, you're no longer, nobody talks to you anymore, because like, even though you're now different than you were before when you were functioning in a classroom, because you got that diagnosis, you were never gonna have a normal life now.
But it's also hard to tease apart of like, okay, yeah, you were great in grade 6 and then now we're in grade 9. A lot of things change. Maybe they would have ended up like that regardless of label, based on like advanced social functioning, starting dating, and all the other stressors too, right? You can't tease apart just a label from time.
This wasn't like elementary school to middle school kind of shift. This was like sophomore to junior year kind of shift. This was like not, they were functioning fine. It just, they went in because they moved a little bit too much, and they were a little bit socially awkward, and then from that on they just fucked them. And that's like from their perspective too, talking to me about what they went through. That's not just me. I mean, it is conjecture on some level, but like that is also from conversation how they felt about what happened to them.
And the other thing about all these things too, especially like there's a lot of talk about, you know, antidepressants, all this stuff. Oh, it fucked me up. You don't really have a control for saying, I'm sure I would end up this way if I never took that stuff, right?
Well,
or if I had a normal class.
I think every moment you're alive and you're depressed and you're off the pills is like that's proof contrary to that. Like I think that's all it takes. It's like if you haven't killed yourself, you're golden.
And that's a big risk.
Yeah, but I mean that's the world. I drive a car. I risk every time I go to work.
I think that's really stupid. Like saying that you should tolerate the risk of committing suicide and just trial by fire.
Yeah, I mean, that's worked for me. I mean, I was like fucking depressed and shit throughout high school, and like always had like fucking emo shit and like want to fucking kill myself, and like try to do it the right way and like, you know, talk to people and like do that shit. And I just got worse and worse until I like snapped and I was like, fuck this. If I'm gonna kill myself, I'll kill myself. If not, I won't. And then from there on, I was just like not depressed anymore. So maybe I'm a freak in that nature. But like for me, the opposite worked, where it's like letting go of all this modern psychology and just being like, look, if I want to fucking die, then I'll just fucking die. And that's all my problem. Then it just comes down to, I
think you had some mild shit.
Do I just want to die? And it's like, no. You know, like I'm not gonna fucking pull the trigger. And it's like, okay, it's done. You're not sad anymore.
Yeah, but are you generalizing your experience to the average person? Because that sounds like very mild.
No. I know that it's an outlier by far, but I also see people going, like saying the same shit I've said, or like I think being on the same level. And I learned that through my personal experience, and there's nowhere out there where I see people preaching what I think is the solution for some people. Like it's all the same shit. It's all, no matter what level of like depression or anxiety or whatever the fuck you have, the answer is always the same. Go to therapy, get pills, make yourself feel good, which I don't think is always good. Sometimes I think it's good to be depressed or good to feel like shit. I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
I think it's like working out. I think it's being sore.
It's like
I think. Go on.
Oh, it's like the message in Inside Out, because like, you know, Joy, she's always pushing sadness away, like she's no use at all. But you know, Joy realizes, hey, it's healthy to actually be sad and depressed.
Yeah, I think the moment I stopped fighting against that shit, it was like cured. But like that took me to stop listening to everything I had been taught by like the modern education system to do that. I was like, you know what, I'm not happy right now. That's fine. I'll be not happy. I'm not gonna try to be happy anymore. And then I became happy. It's like the stupid shit where people tell you with relationships, like you're not gonna get a bitch until you already have a bitch, almost kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I can kind of see what you mean, but I think that like especially these days with like all like the Sam Hyde YouTuber, Jordan Peterson of like, oh yeah, you know, just clean your room and stuff like that. That is a fair thing and professionally that is like a huge part of psychology, is just enabling people, and like therapy can help 100%, especially if you kind of are stuck in your ways, for people to just be able to challenge yourself and say, okay, well, maybe the way I'm thinking, this kind of rut I'm in, this loop of cognition that I have, maybe that's actually not what the average person thinks, and maybe there are some other ideas I could to kind of try and then see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then whatever, what do you lose?
But I think that's a lot rarer than people say it is. Like, I think that if every person that went to therapy, the therapist went to their house first and looked, what's your living conditions? I think that would like cut in half at least the number of people that are like diagnosed with something. It's like, oh no, you're not depressed. Your life sucks.
That's a real thing.
I think that like there's some credence to like what Sam Hyde and like the fucking bro like psychology people. I think there's some, but I don't think they're stupid. I think that it's like they're playing a game. I think they're fucking with people just like make plays sometimes.
Yeah, people think that stoicism and like kind of grit and kind of pulling through hard times is a novel concept. No, that's obviously what people try before they actually like feel like they need to seek help and stuff. And a lot of people, like, also just based on your personality, people are more likely to reach out for help, especially like women, versus men who want to bottle it in and kind of not talk about their feelings and stuff like that. So then whenever you see men, on the flip side, it's like you have to have a higher threshold. If people are like in a crisis and you're, say, a stoic person or a farmer or something like that, you automatically know, okay, shit, this must be really bad for this person to really even come to grips, swallow their pride, and like approach help.
It's different, but I think that in the modern education, we're being trained the opposite. I think we're all being trained to do the feminine thing, which is immediately seek help. And I think that for a lot of people, this is going completely against what everybody says. I think bottling can be healthy if it's used appropriately. I think that there are some things where it's like you feel a way and you just need to tell yourself, okay, you just shut the fuck up and be a man. I think that's like a healthy thing to do sometimes. You need to like be aware of your feelings, not ignore it, but like at the same time, it's like if you're trying to be a breadwinner or trying to be a certain kind of person and feel good and feel fulfilled, you have to be able to like take a step back and like be like, okay, how do I fucking want to be?
Yeah, I agree to some degree, but I think you have some of that toxic masculinity in there too, because I think it has nothing to do with being a man or a woman or whatever, but like if you go and you have a low threshold to seek help, most like good. That's the thing. There's a lot of variability about who you talk to and like who the professional is that you actually seek help from. Some people might just want to like just do the easy, fast way of try this med, and then if not, try this other med. But I think that's a lot rarer than the common person thinks, and they think everyone's just pill pushing whatever. A lot of like psychology is just talking through stuff and saying like, hey, okay, this is my advice, and you might not be ready to take it, but you should try this, and that, and then come back in like a few weeks and then see if you actually gave it an honest try, which a lot of people don't, and see if that changes things and gives you new perspective. And if not, then like we can go down the tree, and then ultimately maybe a medication is useful for you, or maybe you're just kind of a self-defeating guy that needs some kind of long-term therapy to try to get over yourself and your own self-defeating and self-sabotaging ways.
I'll concede that I definitely do follow more toxic masculinity vibe, but where that comes from for me is that for me I was like doing, I guess it's currently not trad. The current site. I tried my best. No, the opposite. Trying to do like what people are doing, like what they say to do in like psychology courses and shit. Like I took fucking psychology in high school and college. Like I was aware of like what they said the right thing to do, or the right way to think, or the right way to like deal with your emotions was. And for me, like I just got worse and worse the more I went into that, until I like decided to try to embrace that toxic masculinity, and that actually fixed me. And on top of that, as a kid, my sister had a lot of mental issues, like a lot, like a stack of them.
Yeah.
And they pill pushed her hard, and they fucked her up bad with those pills. So I'm definitely like a creature that was like created to be like, oh, current psychology is a bad and a scam, and we need to regress and just let the people that are going to fall through for the masses. I definitely am like, I definitely have been formed into a beast by my upbringing, but I think that I don't hear anybody, even Jordan Peterson or Sam Hyde are fucking too milquetoast for me, I think, when it comes to that. So I think I am more of an outlier, and I don't know if that's bad.
But I think like also your sister had some pretty serious shit. So like I don't know if you've seen her off of the meds like in her adult life and seen what happens.
the same thing happened for her. When she stopped getting treatment, she got better. So
she's not on any mood stabilizers now.
She's on. I don't think so. No, she's got a kid. She's got a husband. She's doing great.
Are you sure she doesn't have?
She's still bipolar. She's still bipolar and like fucking has issues, but she's like.
Are you sure she doesn't have BPD? Not bipolar?
I mean, fucking, she was in like children's hospital for like months at times, like doing shit, and they're giving her like every pill they could, and like you know, she's going to therapy all the time. So she had real shit. I mean, I don't know all her details because I'm not gonna pry into my sister's business, but like, she like definitely had like not just bipolar shit. She had like real like mental illnesses.
Bipolar is for sure a real mental illness, but like, was it like was she always suicidal? Like, not to get
suicidal, hallucinations, schizophrenic fits, you know.
And she's on no medications now.
No, when she was on medication, that shit got 15 times worse.
Mm.
And when she was getting treatment, all her like emotional issues got way worse. And then when she stopped doing that and she started trying to live like a country girl, when we moved out to Kansas, she got better exponentially quick. So
good. Well, good for her. I find it hard to believe.
I mean, it's the same thing happened with me. I like was like trying to do all that fucking. I grew up in Colorado, you know, lived through that like liberal mentality, and then like after a point living in Kansas, I just like gave up on that shit, and I was way happier after that. So I don't know, like definitely like a freak incident, I think, but like, and that's why I don't like speak on the show. That's why it's very rare I'll like actually like. That's why I just troll and meme when it comes to like in like rants when it's like about mental health and shit. Because I don't think that my opinion is one that should be spread. I don't think that my experience is one that people should know or live by or take as truth, because I think that.
No, but it is something you went through, and it is your reality. So
yeah, but I think that it worked for me.
Too.
But I think it could get a lot of people killed if like everybody did it. So I'd rather not.
That's the problem. About the worst case scenario here, like maybe there'll be somebody that's like, oh yeah, I just like this guy, the same level of seriousness, and then I'll do the same approaches, and if it doesn't work, then well, I'll just kill myself.
Yeah, that's my instinct when I see someone bitching about being depressed online is like, just do it. Like, if you're gonna do it. Shut the fuck up and stop whining. Oh my god. No, because that's what worked for me. It was me doing that to myself, was being like, fuck, if I'm gonna be a little whiny bitch and sit with a fucking shotgun in my mouth, then just fucking do it, pussy. And like from that point, you have to like make the decision of like, do I actually want to do it, or do I just want attention, or am I just being a bitch? But that's why I don't. That's why I don't say nothing.
And there's a big difference too with the active or passive thoughts of dying, or like whether like, okay, you know, I feel so shitty right now, I'd rather be dead, versus like, you know, I need any escape from this current level of suffering, so even death is preferable, and like I have a method, I've really thought this through, I've given away my belongings. There's a lot of different variations to suicidal thought.
So fucking gay when I see it though. It's like, oh, look at you. So I'm sorry. I should shut up about this shit now.
No, it's
Thank you for
real
listening
thing,
to
but like,
versus Bloomer.
yeah, exactly. This is the epitome of the Doomer versus Bloomer ethos. But I think that just speaks to the seriousness of it, versus like superficial cuts, or like kind of telling people all this and saying like, you know, if I'm not around, and all this, sending texts and all this kind of broadcasting, versus like seriously putting things into place legally, or kind of leaving things away, and like turning off your phone is a big thing. It's like, okay, shit, this person like doesn't want to be saved, versus cry for help, which is still serious, which is still quite serious.
I just think people with real problems, you're not going to know until they're already gone. And the ones that like are vocal about it are like, and they don't get fixed, or they don't find like, you know, they don't actually actively try to repair themselves psychologically. I think that they're just wasting our time.
It's normal. It's not normal to even to like talk about it like that, or like kind of like seek attention in that way, and like that gets a bad.
Look what we're doing right now. This feels completely normal to me, and I've had so many conversations like this in my lifetime. It's so normal to talk about mental health. Everybody does it nonstop. There's so many places you're encouraged to. It's all that's on fucking like Reddit and 4chan and shit. Even though like 4chan's like a lot more like weird about it. Like it's still Sam Hyde. Literally Sam Hyde. People think he's a fucking neo-Nazi. He talks about mental health all the time, and like. Jordan Peterson, the biggest podcast in the fucking world, Joe Rogan talks about mental health constantly. Like, it's everywhere. It's not like it's not. If it's like, it would be like someone being like, "Oh, what's pain?" Like, that's how fucking common that shit is. You know, someone doesn't know what color is. People know about psychology nowadays. It's everywhere. It's not about.
Yeah, but the problem is like people with like lived experience and stuff are like, okay, yeah, I stubbed my toe, so like, don't amputate your knee because you have like a rotting flesh. Like, I just got over it by waiting and distracting myself, bro. Do what I did. Like, no, there's levels to this shit, and everyone thinks like, okay, yeah, mental health is the same thing, but like psychiatric illnesses are a lot different than kind of growing pains and like getting over a breakup or getting cheated on and things like that, right?
Okay, so to be clear, wait, these guys do not sign off anything I've said. If you're gonna cancel anybody, cancel me. What I've said, if anybody listens to
no, it's good.
24 minutes into this shit.
That was good, good conversation.
Willy, Riely, you guys have any actual like thoughts on this, or are you guys just like sitting here baffled?
No, I agree with most things you said, really.
Don't say that. Don't say it. Say you disagree with everything.
Really,
I don't agree with
I'm interested about your mental health journey from like high school and stuff. When did you first realize, or how early were you diagnosed, and how early did you feel like you were different from other people?
Put this into episodes, dude. This is going so long.
Oh my god,
stop.
It's too powerful.
Yeah. Well, I actually have a funny story about my diagnosis. It was like, it was literally right after I graduated high school that I got my diagnosis. I was like, well, fuck me. If I just gotten, because I was diagnosed late. If I was just diagnosed early as a kid, whatever, fucking, I would gotten the proper support and everything. Yeah. And it was like, it got me depressed and shit. And fuck. And then, but then this movie a few months later came out called The Predator, and it was literally about this autistic boy who this predator wants to come down and kidnap him because he sees autism as the next step in human evolution. And then I'm like, wow, actually being diagnosed the same year this movie came out about this representation of autism actually makes me feel pretty good about myself. It's like a superpower. I don't think it's just a coincidence that I was diagnosed the same year that movie actually came out.
Based. And that's the other thing about the diagnosis, especially for a lot of things. It can contextualize your experience where you're like, okay, I'm all alone, I'm feeling this shit, all my average people are going about living their lives like laughing and stuff, but like once okay, I got diagnosed with this, or like I have features of this kind of thing, there are other people out there that are successful and famous actors, like musicians who function well and also have felt like this before. It can be validating, it can be kind of proof that diversity is not the worst thing, right? Just because you don't feel like the average person doesn't mean that it's a negative.
Exactly.
That's good to hear, Willy. Riely, what do you think about a conversation?
He did it. He listened to my advice. He fucking did it. God damn, I killed somebody.
He didn't even mute?
Wait, what?
No, not even. Oh, there you go.
We were optimistically talking about your demise.
Oh, unfortunately.
What do you think about our conversation so far, Riely, about mental health and the spectrums and the validity of going your own way?
I don't agree with a single thing that Cole Williams has said since I joined this call.
Even what about the My Hero Academia?
I've seen like 2 episodes of My Hero Academia.
I have watched My Hero Academia.
What was the waifu girl from?
Sword Art Online.
Same shit, yeah.
I don't know. No offense, Kandor. I think we need to wrap it up here.
Yeah, I think it's over.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you guys want to all plug your shit? Willy, Nancy boy, you go first.
Thank you. All right. Now I know there's a little curse about me deleting shits a lot of the time, but
that curse?
Don't delete things.
You actively do it.
It's gay.
Yeah. I know. Okay, but trust me, I'm done. Look forward to May when I talk about the multiverse and a theory about it, and with Doctor Strange and a bunch of movies and Moon Knight and all that. It'll be coming out in May. Trust me on my word. I cross my heart. Swear to God, I will not be deleting shit anymore.
Swear to God.
Nice. And what's your YouTube channel?
It's Willy the Warden. I'll leave a link. Also, just vote for the worst year ever, because that would help me gratefully think too. Just When the
Yeah,
poll,
we'll leave that tweet with
Oh
that.
my
That's
god,
likely
you're
the poll will
Willy
be
the
closed.
Warden! That's who you
Yeah.
are!
The
Yeah.
infamous.
Yeah.
His reputation precedes him.
Yeah.
Great. We'll plug Willy the Warden stuff in.
So just
the,
look forward
bio.
to a shit ton in May. That's when I'll be starting and everything. We look forward. Like, trust me, there's this big Doctor Strange like billboard right outside of Yorkdale, and like the thumbnail's gonna be doing a sword face right in front of it.
Oh shit. Wait, Willy, actually, quickly while I have you here, tell me about the CP24, this local Toronto news interview that you did. Is
Oh
that
my
real?
god! Okay, so yeah, no, fuck, it was real and everything. It was like with this back
Why
on
do you say it like it wasn't?
because it was a back on track program, and I advertised my channel for it. I linked it, and they fucking they cut it out the part where I said advertise my channel. I'm like,
he was hyping it up because we were from the same city in Canada.
Yeah.
So then, he was like, "Oh, I have this local interview." I was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Oh, it's airing right now, whatever." And then never posted any follow-up links, never did anything else. So I assumed it was a lie, but I guess they just cut out your plugging.
yeah, what the fuck?
You should sue them for discrimination based on
I
your.
will actually. Fuck me.
Riely, what about yourself then? I know you got quite the plug.
My plug is very simple because there's one central hub you can go to. It's anchor.fm/Riely Megafeed, or just search the Riely Podcast Megafeed on your podcatcher of choice. I got a bunch of cool podcasts going on there, and there's a couple other podcasts and social medias and YouTube channels and stuff, and those are all linked in the description of the Riely Podcast Megafeeds. That's the central hub. Go there.
And that is Riely, Riely exclamation mark. Make sure you spell it right for the boys. What about yourself,
There's no
Cole
exclamation
Copper?
mark in the Megafeed.
Common misconception.
This podcast is brought to you by Lock and Load Volume Enhancement Formula. Brought to you by PKA. You need to come bigger. Get yourself some Lock and Load. You know, you got your vitamin E, your zinc, your selenium, your vitamin D3, sunflower lithium, nitrous lysine. You want to come comically large loads? PKA's Lock and Load for volume enhancement. Link in the description. Thanks for being a long-time sponsor.
Thank you, Pete.
Endorse this product. If you want to bring Noah the flood that Noah's Ark survived onto your woman, Lock and Load. That's the way to go.
And don't forget about supplementing with the pineapple juice as well for the taste for the ladies. You gotta be a generous lover. You gotta be accommodating, and make sure with PKA supplements, our tagline that we always say here at the Random Kandor Discord is, she's wet, you gotta make her wetter. Come inside her with PKA.
Hey, base.
And you can find us all at the Random Kandor YouTube channel for further podcasts on this base mental health, autism. What else do we talk about? Relationship advice, Cole Williams, Sonic 2 review, and a bunch of other shit. I'll timestamp all the stuff below. Thank you so much for joining in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that comment. You know how to do it here. And thank you, Cole Williams, for being the host for this illuminating discussion among gentlemen. And we will see you soon. We will wish Cole a great travel tips. Did you test negative, I assume?
I have to wait until 48 hours before my takeoff, so it's a nightmare. I'm terrified.
Wait, I thought the
COVID test I did earlier. Yeah, no, I tested negative. I'm negative so far.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So far. Fingers crossed for our boy Cole.
COVID doesn't even exist anymore.
No, my
I wish.